No, I know there's better advice. Oh, my mom always says.
Okay, well, best advice that you've ever gotten.
Well, this isn't really advice, but my mom has this, like, when people say, well, it is what it is. My mom always says, unless it isn't. But I just think about that all the time. Or, happy, you don't want to celebrate your birthday, and my mom's always like, well, it's better than the alternative, because, as you get older.
That's exactly right.
So, yeah, those kind of have to do with being in the moment.
Love it. Okay. Well, what recent book have you enjoyed mostly?
Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert. And she also has a podcast series called Big Magic that your viewers would love this, because she interviews people that are stuck in their life or career or whatever. They have a dream and they just can't get there. And she matches them with someone that's very successful at that and puts them together, talks about it, and then revisits them like a few months later. It's really cool.
Wow. Okay. So do you like podcasts?
And it's called Magic Lessons.
Magic Lessons.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love podcasts.
All right. What other favorite podcasts do you?
I mean, This American Life is my favorite.
Mine too.
Yeah. I mean, Serial. All of those.
Yeah.
Are, S-Town.
Have you listened? I binged the whole thing. Yeah, over the weekend. That was really great.
Yeah, that's great. I love podcasts.
Okay. I feel like all of these questions are going to be ordered. What most inspires you about your work right now, like this week? So that donor story was amazing.
Right. I think making a dent in a really big issue that we're dealing with, and in an environment where science is being challenged, and where our target audience is being a lot of the girls, their families are being deported, and it's just in this, like, Girl Start is a light in a lot of ways to girls, and not just girls, but to scientists and to STEM professionals. We just had someone make a donation that's like, I can't sit back and not do anything while everything that we believe in is being questioned. And it's just, I know that we're making a difference, and that we're kind of like that light still.
And so, you were talking about your strengths earlier, so that's my last question. For women that don't have humor, and you are obviously charismatic and extroverted, and people like you, and you just have a natural connection with individuals. Other people that don't feel that way, what advice do you have for women that are trying to be successful in that profession, but maybe they're a little more introverted, that they feel like that's a detriment to what they're trying to succeed, or where they're trying to succeed in their career?
I am actually an introvert, believe it or not.
Are you?
Yeah, so
It's
interesting that you say that, because I think you can learn a lot of skills, and I take a lot of time to recharge away from people. I'm around people all the time. I go to events all the time, and so I have to have my recharge time. But practice, learn how to give presentations, make yourself do interviews even though you hate it. I do not like interviews, but I've 20 years of making myself do it, and sometimes I was the only person, right? And so it's just making yourself kind of like, it's like exercising. It's not fun I wish I could say I love going to yoga, it's amazing, and I do yoga like 4 times a week. It's hard work, and I'm always frustrated until like the last 10 minutes, and I'm like, that was worth it. And so, but then your body is able to do more, and just like practicing giving speeches, or practicing sharing your ideas in a board meeting, or even in like a regular staff meeting. It takes practice, and force yourself to do it, because it'll feel natural.
I love that, because one of my favorite pieces of advice lately that I'm loving is anything that is worth it is hard.
Oh, that's so true.
It should be hard though, because in this whole interview, all the stories that you've shared, it's the struggle that made everything else satisfying. It's the struggle that made the other side of that more valuable, and kind of help shape the person you are today.
Yeah. Well, it's still a struggle. Every time I learn something new, or being forced to kind of be more creative because other people are copying my ideas. That's, other nonprofits are, kind of in our footsteps. Well, we have to do more. We can do better.
Be brave, creative, and curious. I love it. Thanks, Julie.
Thanks.